In today's episode, we're going to talk about something a little different. We're going to talk about the wpplugincollege.com site that I've been building as a solo entrepreneur and a founder programmer, as I call them. And I'm going to share with you kind of the status where I'm at with this project, and hopefully you will get some insights on what is going in my mind as my dream project, and I hope that it's something that will help you. So let's get right to it.
If you are motivated to learn to code the 21st century web, from plugin products to micro SaaS, welcome to the Plugged Into Programming Show with your host and professor, Jamie Robe. Jamie is a computer engineer and solo founder of the wpplugincollege.com. And now, over to you, Professor Jamie.
You may have found this program either coming through YouTube or a podcast, or you may have found it on wpplugincollege.com. But that's my main project right now that I've been developing for a couple of years, and I'm getting closer and closer to launching it as a learning center for people. So anyway, I'm going to give you an update on where I'm at because I'm really excited about some of the developments that have been happening. And this is the home page. I recently redesigned the site to make it as mobile friendly as possible, and emphasize that we're working on a community of founder programmers, solo entrepreneurs who want to create software plugins and SaaS products, etc. So if you get a chance to take a look at the site, so the objective of this project is to help anyone to learn to create income-producing software products. I really, I obviously am going to teach some programming and some other technical things that need to be understood by anyone who's creating something like this. But I'm really trying to make it possible for anyone who's motivated enough to do this themselves. And I'm focusing on sustainable business practices and proper scaling so that this is something that someone who wants to have a changing career or a lifestyle change, lifestyle business, or just keep a very small solo operation. So keeping that in mind in all things in this system. And of course, I want to build on your enthusiasm and motivation. If you've seen any of these shows, you'll know that I'm big on coaching and motivation. And I don't want to, I want to stay out of your way in terms of, don't want to crush your enthusiasm. If you've got a dream and you want to follow it, then I want to be empowering to you and to help you keep that motivation up during the process. So let's go further into this. So I want to keep it fun. I enjoy programming. I enjoy developing products. I enjoy developing online business. Everything from the audience building to the SEO for your marketing. I like all of this stuff. And I plan on using, group coaching methods. Obviously, can't spread myself too thin, but we can get together through forums and through webinars and, really build on our strengths. So one of the concepts that I've developed over the past, especially the past 3-4 months, is how to organize the information, the curriculum that I've been developing. So I've created centers, and these are specialized areas. You'll see in a few minutes what I'm talking about in terms of the titles of the centers. But I want to allow easy access to all the different topics and lessons and things, so a student can work at their own pace and their own learning style. We're talking video lessons with text and code and downloads and things built into it. But I also wanted to create a hierarchy so that if someone's just starting out, they can easily see what the introductory levels are of these centers, and kind of work their way through it, to the more advanced levels. Obviously, if you know something, don't expect you to have to sit through, a lecture or something if you already know it well. But, you can make your own mind up if it's something you're rusty on or just want to get a different perspective. Obviously you can take all of the material. But if you are, advanced, you could jump to areas that you want the help or need the help in immediately. The structure of these centers, basically there's three parts to them. The first part are courses. So I've focused mainly on doing video-based, training. And so you can watch the videos. I'm breaking these down into lessons, so they're step by step. And for each, especially for the programming parts of this, I'm really emphasizing hands-on approach. So you're going to have downloadable course materials, code examples, maybe plugins that you could install that would help you understand what's going on, and also, a hands-on learning lab. I have spent a great deal of time creating this hands-on experience, and basically, every student that's in the paid level of this system will have access to the hands-on learning lab, so that they don't have to install editors and do all sorts of other things. They could just jump in and start learning the coding and the setup of all the things that they need to know. And of course, I'm trying to characterize the course levels as beginner, intermediate, and advanced, just so that, not to intimidate people, but just so they know where they're getting into and that they can follow along, and build their skill levels and confidence too. The other part of the structure of the centers is discussion forums. So this really agonized over this part of it for quite some time, because I was trying to determine what would be the best way to approach this to give more interactivity for the students. And so I talked to different people, and I personally like forums, especially when you're working on code or technical things, because if you're in some sort of a chat room or something like that, the things can come and go quickly, and in a forum, they stick around. So if you ask a question, yes, obviously we would try to answer that question, as quickly as we can. But, sometimes people, months later come up with really great ideas and things to help somebody in the past. And also, it's a great way just to build, student to student confidence or communication as well, because really you guys are peers. You're all, working on your own projects, but this gives you a chance to give and take and explore different ideas. So I'm really excited about this structure. And so it'll also be a way for you to obviously ask me a question or report some kind of issue or problem you might be having. But it's, it should be an exciting way for us to all talk to each other. And the next thing of structure is live events, live online events. Now, obviously, I'm going to, be limited somewhat on the amount of time. This is a, kind of a self-paced course training and things like that. But I am going to have regular webinar sessions so that we can have question and answer periods, and also do coaching, and give a chance for people to kind of get to know each other as well. So I'm looking forward to this part a lot, because I really want to have as much interactivity as possible with this process. And the this graphic kind of illustrates what you are doing and what I'm doing as founder programmers. We are pushing a boulder up a hill or up a mountain, and it is a hard slug. It is hard to do. There are so many different things that build in complexity as you go. And you have to really, persevere to do this. So it's not like you're just going to push that boulder up a little hill and have, you know, um, $1 million idea is going to come to you and you're going to execute it instantly. That doesn't happen very often, but we're going to build together. So what I've done to help you go over that hill is made a goal. So my goal is that students like yourself learn to program and develop income producing products. So this could be a WordPress plugin or software as a service, all the different types that we've talked about before. Something that is a professional quality product that you can turn into a business, an income production stream. And it might be a side hustle business or it might be your main thing. But so what I've done, if you start in the bottom left there, the first center is going to be on success, starting, and sustaining. And this one is to help you, anyone who, you might have ideas, but you don't know how to formulate those ideas into a plan. You might not know how to work through iteration cycles. And, we'll go through all those things so that you can get off to the right, on the right foot and move forward as quickly as you can. The second center is WordPress as a platform, but just the WordPress, since we're using it as a framework for development, you also need to be familiar with how to build websites, how to use its built-in systems, and plugins and things. So we're going to have that center be the second one up the ladder, or up the stair steps here. The third one is some essential programming skills. This center is going to focus on, HTML, CSS, PHP, and JavaScript. Now, some of you may be very familiar with all of those. Some of you may have one or two of those really down great. And some of you don't know anything at all. So going to try to, provide a start for people so that you can understand how these things all work together and interact. I'm not going to say that this is the only coding class you'll ever need is to take this, but I think that there are lots of things out there you can use, and I'll recommend some resources too. But I want to be able to just impart some of the things I've learned over the years and try to demystify some of the JavaScript and the Ajax things that communicate between client and server. Just try to help you get started in programming and have a resource you can fall back on in case you need to use something that you're not familiar with, arrays, JSON code, all different kinds of things. We'll cover the basics of those, and you'll do it with hands-on. In fact, the WordPress will be a hands-on thing. The essential programming skills will be hands-on, and that leads us to the next level is plug-in programming. Okay, using the WordPress framework. This will definitely be hands-on, and this is where you're really going to learn to do create a plugin and how to customize almost everything you can think of on a site or an application. And I'm really excited about this part. The next level is more advanced in a way because it builds on all the other centers below. But the SaaS Development Center will be focused on how to apply all the things that we've just talked about to creating a standalone software as a service product / business that you can operate and create and operate. So that's going to be really exciting. And again, hands-on with the Learning Lab. Now, the next level on here, the next center is multimedia. And this is going to be images, video, audio, and copywriting, text, etc. This is for not only the things we're going to be building, like the plugin apps and the SaaS apps and so on. It's also useful for your marketing and your websites. So this is something that honestly, programmers and a lot of technical people maybe aren't the greatest on design, but there are definitely tools that we can talk about and use in some courses, and I think it will help you to be able to get started and move forward and make progress. So that's exciting to me. And you can incorporate multimedia into your plugin, into your SaaS. It's the way to communicate with people. The next level, the next center up is, I call it the break room. But one of the things that we're going to try to do in this community that we're creating is have a place where we can make friends with other people like us. It's difficult. We're all on the internet. Some of us live in places where we might know other people that are doing these things, and that's fortunate. But some people don't have that contact. And I wanted a place that isn't just all focused on the technical stuff on the other centers, but is more focused on kind of the human element of this whole thing. And again, I, as the solo founder of this whole WP plugin college, I'm doing this to help people. I'm also doing it because I enjoy talking with people and working with people on cool things. So I hope the Break Room Center is a place where you can really make some connections and network with each other. And then the last center that I'm conceptually working on, this one is probably going to be the last one as I phase through the other courses and other things. But it's important, and it's business level, business center, and really focus on creating a scaled, sustainable lifestyle type business that a solo person or a tiny team of people can create and generate substantial amounts of money if that's the goal, or at least create a professional, sustainable operation, even if it's for a nonprofit or just a passion project you have. But you have to be able to sustain this, and you have to reach people. The business part of it, again, a lot of technical programmers and developers, this may not be your most favorite part of the whole thing. It'd be great if you could just sit in a room and program and create some cool software and then just push it through a slot in the door, and then the money comes through another slot. But it doesn't work that way. You've got to learn SEO, marketing, sales, support, technical support, all these different elements that can actually be fun, but again, if you're doing everything yourself, like I usually do, it's tough because those might not be some of your strong points. So you have to do research into these things, and you have to try to apply principles they're proven. It's not like you have to invent a whole bunch of stuff. You have to just understand those business elements and factors, just like you would if they were programming code. So we're gonna, really build this ladder of value of these centers, starting at the bottom and moving up towards the highest levels in order for you to reach your goal. And I invite you to come to wpplugincollege.com. Right now, I have a free subscription to a newsletter, and that's the best way for you to start getting engaged in this process, because honestly, I'm trying to build an audience with these YouTube and podcast shows and the website, so that when I launch this community shortly, that there will be a vibrant group of people, highly motivated, and we will have some fun learning and doing some things together. So with that, I'm going to switch over and put on the coaching hat in a minute And thanks for listening to this update on the project I've been working on for about 2 years. So thanks, and I'll see you on the other side.
Coaching.
In today's coaching message, I really want to emphasize that we are not in this alone. It's so easy for a programmer just to, even if they're not an introverted person, just to sit down and focus 100% on coding something. And while that kind of focus is fantastic in order to get technical things done, we also have to expand ourselves beyond just the product itself. And even when you're designing a product, the minimum viable product, sometimes they call it minimum lovable product, you have to really engage with your customers, with your users out there. And the only way to do that is to try to expand your horizons out into the greater world. And it can be hard to do that, but I know you can do it. We have the ability to reach out to each other through YouTube videos and podcast episodes, through blog posts, and just also making friends on social platforms. I talk to people through LinkedIn and all sorts of other things that I use, that I keep in touch with people, and just emails too. But that sense of having others out there is really important, because, especially for technical people, it's good to know that you've got, some folks out there, even if you don't know them personally, that but you know a site or a place where you can go and post, problems, with some kind of code or some kind of a business thing that you're working on. And that's exactly why I have been really evaluating and designing what I'm doing on this WP Plugin College to incorporate that community element into it. So I encourage you to keep looking for opportunities to connect with other people like yourself, and try to expand your horizon beyond just the code. I know you love to do the technical parts, but you also have skills and strengths in other areas. You wouldn't be doing this solo founder, programmer, bootstrapper thing if you didn't have some other interests and strengths. And that's what you need to take a look at. And maybe through the holidays coming up, make a New Year's resolution to put yourself out there and connect to some people in some way. And it could be just helping other people. But you know what? The best way to get help back someday is to help people today. Help people now, yourself. And everybody has something to give. Everybody has a different perspective. Even a beginner can share, some ideas that they've learned that can help other people. Remember, we're all at different stages on our progress. And, but if we reach out to one another, it can make us stronger as individuals, as individual solo founder programmers. We can understand what people need and want. We can help give value to others and help make their dreams come true. So let's do that together in this the next few weeks during the holidays coming up and into the new year coming forward. And I know that if you put yourself out there a little bit and connect to some people, it will help you get your projects accomplished and make your dreams come true. So good luck, and I'll see you soon.
To join our conversation and get the show notes, please visit us at thewplugincollege.com.